Hello, YouTube, and welcome to Level-Headed News. This is your host, Brenda. I have 4 articles for you in this episode, and the URLs are in the description of this video for your convenience. The first one here is off of All News Pipeline. It says, WikiLeaks Vault7 rabbit hole gets even deeper. Are they preparing to bring down ringleader George Soros? Cryptic tweets continue and hint at Stasi secret police and mass surveillance. The cryptic hints left over the past several days by whistleblowing website WikiLeaks have taken another turn for the strange on Thursday as they put out another Vault7 tweet on Twitter that has some people asking if they might be getting ready to go after ringmaster himself, George Soros. As we reported on Wednesday, several recent mysterious and quite cryptic tweets from WikiLeaks had been melting down the internet. Today, the mystery has intensified as one Twitter user recently tweeted, "The rabbit hole just got deeper," after WikiLeaks put out another tweet asking, how did Vault7 make its way to WikiLeaks? That included an obviously dated picture of a woman standing at a mailbox. As Twitter detectives quickly pointed out, a reverse image search finds that the photograph WikiLeaks tweeted came directly from George Soros's Open Society Foundation and a set of photographs known as images from the secret Stasi archives, showing part of East Germany's mass surveillance program. As the description on that image states, the image is of the surveillance of mailboxes in Berlin and further elaborates when mailboxes are being observed by Stasi agents, every person posting a letter was photographed. Some films found in Stasi archives also show persons dressed in civilian clothing emptying the mailbox after the conclusion of the surveillance action. Why might have WikiLeaks chosen that particular photograph to tweet along with their latest Vault7 warning? The fact that this particular photograph came directly from Soros's website may be telling. As we've long reported on AMP, can be the fact-checking via many different sources. George Soros is the money behind many of the anti-American protests that are going on across the country right now, with many of these recent protests specifically turning violent, and the organizer of the recent Berkeley, California protests saying she wouldn't change a thing about the violence that was carried out to stop Milo Yiannopoulos from speaking there, and the desires of those participating to make America ungovernable. Why hasn't Soros been arrested for financing terrorism in America? According to Section 802, the Patriot Act, the definition of terrorism is defined as a person engages in domestic terrorism if they act dangerous to human life, violation of criminal law of a state or United States, if the act appears to be intended to 1, intimidate or coerce a civilian population, 2, influence the policy of a government by intimidation or coercion, or 3, to affect the conduct of a government by mass destruction, assassination, or kidnapping. Additionally, the acts have to occur primarily within the territorial jurisdiction of the United States, and if they do not, may be regarded as international terrorism. While AMP believes strongly in the First Amendment rights of Americans to protect once protest crosses the line to violence, as we've recently seen being carried out by the left, they've lost any moral high ground the participants might have thought that they previously had. And even if they admit that there is a political purpose to their actions, so what does WikiLeaks know that the American people don't know? And might they soon go after ringleader Soros? WikiLeaks had previously reported on George Soros' ties to Hillary Clinton, reporting Clinton aides do Soros's bidding. The Washington Times reported Clinton also embraced Soros's radical vision of borderless world. The NWO we've long been warned of. The fact that recently as May of 2016, InfoWars reported that a formerly top secret CIA document connected Soros to terrorist bombings dating back to the 1980s. So why is Soros being allowed to try to take down Trump and America? In the second video below, we hear from a California professor who warns us of the leftist plan to destroy humanity. Soros also has a lot of help in the overthrow Trump camp, with former Virginia governor and Hillary Clinton running mate Tim Kaine recently calling for fighting the streets, sounding almost like the leader of the Antifa group BANN, or BAMN, which stands for By Any Means Necessary, named Yvette Falersa, who actually called for the rioting and destruction across America. Why would anyone actually want to create mayhem in the streets, as we hear from herself in the first video below? We see an excellent compilation video proving Soros's ties to protests and terror across America and the world, while in the fourth and fifth video, we get more updates on Vault7 and the 5 W's of investigative journalism spoken by WikiLeaks, and these cryptic tweets, what, who, where, when, and why, and how now being thrown into the mix. And while some might still think that Soros globalism and open borders might be a good thing, this news story from the Christian Post proves to us otherwise, warning us that globalism is actually antichrist and demonic. We see the violent actions of those who believe they're social justice warriors fighting for a cause, a small taste of just how demonic it can be. While it's been said a maniac running our foreign policy, and it's not Trump, while alluding to terror supporting Judge James Robard, knowing that Robard is in Soros's pocket tells us who really is pulling the shots. And aware, according to this January 4th, 2017 story from the New American, George Soros himself was a Nazi collaborator who's invoking Hitler in an absolutely ridiculous comparison to President Donald Trump. You can hear Soros, his own admission of having ties to the Nazis, in the final video below, his infamous interview with 60 Minutes. And in closing, while we still do not have the answers as to what is, the fact that WikiLeaks continues to put out tweets about it, keep Vault7 in the public eye, despite the mainstream media's refusal to publish any stories on it, tells us that whatever it is, it's not going to just go away, though we bet someone would like it to disappear. We'll also stand with some A&P commentators who've asked that WikiLeaks please hurry up and get this show on the road. The suspense is killing us, and besides, America is big time ready for some truth and some justice. And then there are these videos, if you want to pull it up to see those for yourself. The next one that I have for you today, and it says cereal maker Kellogg could lay off more than 1,100 workers. Kellogg's could lay off more than 1,100 employees because of its decision to use grocers' warehouses rather than directly deliver many of its foods. The company said Wednesday it plans to begin exiting its direct store delivery network in favor of retailers' warehouses in the second quarter of this year. As a result, 39 of its distribution centers. Those sites average about 30 full-time workers, Kellogg spokeswoman Chris Charles said. That's the equivalent of about 50 jobs. Closures are expected to be completed by the fourth quarter of this year. The change comes as the grocery industry itself is changing. Online sales of staples are increasing, and the national retailers such as Walmart and Target have food sales. While this is the right move for the company to achieve objectives, it was a difficult decision because of its impact on some sales and distribution employees. Email statement. Kellogg which makes Eggo frozen waffles, Kashi products, Keebler cookies and crackers, Morningstar Farms meatless foods, Pop-Tarts, and Pringles. In addition to its cereals, already uses the warehouse system for some of its products, including Pringles and its frozen foods. But its cereals, cookies, crackers, and crisps are delivered through direct sales teams, according to the company's 2015 annual report. The closures will not have a sizable impact on any one community, including Battle Creek, has its headquarters, Charles said. The company did not immediately provide a list of communities affected, but more than half identifiable because of online presence. In Cicero, New York, the company will close distribution center with 30 workers. In Evansville, Indiana, the distribution center that employs will close by the end of the year. In Hagerstown, Maryland, the distribution center on the shutdown list, which opened in 2008, employs 85 people. In Houston, Kellogg's snack distribution center will be shuttered by the end of the year, according to KPRC TV in Houston. In Sharonville, Ohio, 80 or 90 employees will lose their jobs by the end of July, workers told WCPO TV in Cincinnati. In Warren, Ohio, a Kellogg's distribution center will close by the end of the year, the Youngstown, Ohio Vindicator reported. Boards show that Kellogg was advertising openings at distribution centers in Elmhurst, Illinois, Hartford, Connecticut, Loudoun, Tennessee, Orlando, and San Antonio. Additional distribution centers are in Atlanta, Augusta, Georgia, Auburn, Maine, Brenningsville, Pennsylvania, Fontana, California, Franklin, Massachusetts, Jackson, Tennessee, La Palma, California, Falls, Wisconsin, Muncie, Pennsylvania, Omaha, Nebraska, Phoenix, and San Jose, California. The company's only distribution center in Michigan, Charles said. And there is a related article that you can click on here to read that. It's off of Breitbart. It says launches hashtag dump Kellogg campaign after brand pulls ads. But this article continues, and it says the move serious we are at creating more competitive and faster growing snack business, said President Paul Norman, America, on company's investor call Thursday. The decision frees up money for other areas such as brand building. It's a very difficult decision, he said. We firmly believe this is the right move for our business as we look forward to changing consumer and shopper trends. Kellogg's core cereal sales have been under strain, find themselves rushed to get out of the house in the morning, and store brands that families turn to during the recession eat into market share brands, Kellogg's, Post, and General Mills. Kellogg's program, dubbed Project K, and first introduced in 2013, will be extended into 2019, said Ron Dissinger, Chief Financial Officer. Project K, designed to promote efficiency and reshape the business, has resulted in a number of layoffs, including last month's decision to cut off 250 North American jobs. It had been scheduled to end this year. The company reported a loss of $53 million in the fourth quarter, although profits were up 28% to $4 billion for the year. Adjusted earnings for the quarter were 92 cents a share, $3.74 for all team, surpassing Wall Street expectations. Its stock price was up about 4% to $76.44 a share by the close of markets on Thursday. Well, I've got a thought for them. If they want their soar and their stock to skyrocket, stop with the GMO stuff. I won't buy their products because they're GMO. If they would GMO and stop poisoning everybody, maybe they would get, hey, that's why I'm not the CEO, right? The next one that we have here is off of DennisMichaelLynch.com. It says American Airlines emergency landing due to a bomb scare. It's here on Thursday in St. Louis, an American Airlines flight had to make an emergency landing due to a potential bomb threat. The commercial flight departed from John Glenn Columbus International Airport in Columbus, Ohio, early in the morning. The station was Phoenix, Arizona, but the plane was abruptly landed in St. Louis, Missouri. A spokesman for Lambert St. Louis International Airport said the pilot from A319 requested to land and have security check the aircraft. The FBI, local police, firefighters, and bomb-sniffing canine units were dispatched to the scene to investigate Flight 534. Equipment were searched, but authorities say they didn't find anything. The FBI spokesman, Rebecca Wu, claims the agency is still trying to sort it out. Meanwhile, local authorities refused to say what the threat was. American Airlines spokesman Ross Feinstein did not comment on any details or facts about the source of the threat. If you want to pull it up and take a look at that. And the next one we have is off BizPack Review. It says Netflix releases trailer for Dear White People series. Not amused. Based on the acclaimed independent film of the same name, Dear White People released its first trailer, proving that while it's considered taboo to stereotype people because of their race, it's still acceptable to target Caucasians. According to Netflix website, the series satires post-racial America as students of color navigate a predominantly white Ivy League college. In gross exaggeration, the trailer falls back on blackface, perhaps the original sin that contributed to the spread of racial stereotypes, as Samantha White, played by actress Logan Browning, informs racist white people of socially acceptable Halloween costumes. All in the name of humor, of course. The trailer has received more than 112,000 thumbs down on YouTube as of this writing, compared to just over 5,900 thumbs up. Dear White People premieres on April 27th of 2017. So Caucasian Americans, be sure to mark your calendars. That is, if you haven't already gotten your fill of sanctimonious lecturing for being born white. Based on the reaction, it remains to be seen if Netflix will lose more business with the series than it attracts. Here's a sampling of the Twitter responses. And I'll just pick a couple of them here. One says, Netflix announced a new anti-white show, Dear White People, that promotes white genocide. I canceled my account. Do the same. Hashtag no Netflix. And scroll down a little bit. Here's one that says, Dear all people, if you judge others based on skin color, example, Dear White People, then you're a racist, full stop. And another one says, Netflix announced new racist anti-white show called Dear White People. Would it be okay to make a show people? No. So if you want to read all of them, I mean, there's a big old long list of them. You can pull that up and see them for yourself. And that's all I have for you in this episode. If you like what I'm doing here, give it a thumbs up. Share it on your social media so everybody gets to hear the news. Subscribe so you can stay informed. And I'll have another episode for you here in a minute.